What is up, ladies and genitals? Four Eyes in here, coming at you, coming through, back with another video. Call of Duty Black Ops 6's beta has ended. Here are my thoughts after playing it. I know I am late to the party, but let me give you my experience. I thought it was greatly improved compared to the early access version of the beta. The open beta gave me better insights and actually gives me quite a bit of hope for the official release, because I initially thought that the early access beta would be what I should expect for the final release, because that is pretty much how it's been in the past, where the beta is essentially the final product. I also had the thought in my mind of 4,000 devs and 4 years to create this game, so it's comforting to see that the players' feedback has been taken into consideration with the improvements made in the open beta. I personally really enjoyed this beta. It felt complete, which makes me excited. I liked Black Ops 6 a lot, especially with the new movement and pacing. I know this game isn't everybody's cup of tea due to multiple reasons. This has caused a civil war in the Call of Duty community, where players and consumers alike argue whether or not we should buy this game. On one side, you have people saying it's fun, it's new, and the movement is fresh. On the other side, you have it's the same game, skill-based matchmaking, engagement optimized matchmaking, yada yada. At the end of the day, it is up to you whether or not you want to play Black Ops 6. It's your money. You can do whatever you want. It's your life. Choosing to purchase Call of Duty isn't a life and death scenario. In my opinion, expect a similar experience to the last 5 Call of Duties. Skill-based matchmaking or engagement optimized matchmaking, in my opinion, is going to be in the game. This is not a studio thing that Treyarch, Sledgehammer, or Infinity Ward has any control over. This is all due to Activision because they find it the most profitable. The algorithm works where if you're a bot, you will also play against bots, and if you're an ultra sweat, you're going to be playing other ultra sweats. There are ways to manipulate the matchmaking algorithm in your favor, where you purposely play bad or just play against insanely good players, giving you easier lobbies. This cyclical algorithm is what Activision has found to be the most engaging. On the flip side, if you do good, you are given harder lobbies, which can be discouraging because if you're doing good or playing better, why are your lobbies getting harder? So it's hard to tell if you are improving in the game, because lobbies should be getting easier as you get better instead of becoming more difficult. In my opinion, the demographic that gets hit the hardest by the matchmaking is the average player, maybe a little bit higher than average. Players with a 0.8 KD to 1.5 KD, they really do get the short end of the stick. You can be a player who's been playing COD over the years here and there, but just isn't amazing with the movement, but has great aim, knowledge, and game sense, but the algorithm will place you in the higher skill brackets, which makes it very difficult to get better or gauge your improvements. When they do go down to the lower skill brackets, they do well, but not amazing because they aren't at the level where they can completely pub stomp a lobby. However, it is very rare to get into those type of lobbies. They come once in a blue moon. There is also skill-based damage, hit detection, and all these sneaky algorithms working in the background, which I wish could be erased from the game. Overall, the system works in a way if you do good, you get punished. So the question is, why would you want to do good if you are going to get punished? There are some things that kind of counteract the skill-based matchmaking in this game, which are the skill gaps. These are the movement and the aim assist. The aim assist was nerfed, so it wasn't as sticky. When you incorporate this with the Omni movement, especially with players who can use it to its full potential, there will be a skill gap out there. Another thing they could do to level out skill-based matchmaking could be increasing the time to kill. Right now, the time to kill is around the same as Modern Warfare 3, 2023. I know it feels faster in Black Ops 6, but they are very similar. If the time to kill was higher, it would take more bullets, and it would take better aim to acquire kills at the higher skill levels. All in all, just expect the same algorithm in the last 5 years. Games across the board have been introducing some sort of skill-based matchmaking, whether that's Fortnite, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, and the list goes on and on. Gaming just has too much money involved now, especially after the rise of Fortnite and streaming. I actually think Fortnite's matchmaking is one of the best, where you get a few bot lobbies, then you go into real matches, but it's definitely not perfect. One big complaint that was happening across the board during the beta was the connection. Personally, I had really good wired connection, where I would be around 20 milliseconds delay. However, There would be times where I would get packet burst. They were like these random lag spikes that could last from 10 seconds to 30 seconds of just sheer unplayableness. When I tried playing on Wi-Fi, the packet burst situation happened more frequently with the increase of latency. I think this goes hand in hand with the inconsistent hit registration, because some games the hit registration felt nice and crispy, and in another match it felt like I was shooting Casper the Ghost. I can't explain it, but even when the hit registration is crispy, it still kind of feels off in a way. Another thing I think could be improved or changed would be the COD HQ or menus. The menus felt tedious and confusing just to get into the beta. I never really was a fan of these type of menus. I wish we could just go back to how simple it was back then. I feel like I'm picking a show to watch on Netflix. I also would like to see the spawns to be a little bit more consistent. I know Treyarch improved it, but there were still some crazy squad spawns that I was noticing. But all in all, it wasn't too bad. One more thing they could improve was the flinch and the sniper rifles. The flinch compared to the other weapons is quite jarring. It's been like this for quite a few COD games now. I'm not sure why it seems like the studios have a thing against snipers, since they are a high risk, high reward weapon. I feel like they should get more love because they are a community that has brought lots of attention to the Call of Duty franchise. I would definitely love to see more respect given to the snipers. Moving on to what I think Black Ops 6 is doing well, it's definitely how complete the game feels. It definitely should feel this complete for how long it took to develop the game. I like how the attachments in this game aren't as complicated as the last few Call of Duties, where you can just put on attachments without all these drawbacks. There are still some of these attachments in the game, but at least we have some where they just simply improve the weapon. We don't have to nerd out and look at, we need to equip this to minimize these effects, then add these to increase these effects. I'm also excited to see the advanced stats to come back in Black Ops 6. I really like this feature so we can see all the numbers for ourselves and what each attachment is actually doing. The footstep audio was balanced. I didn't have the feeling that I should always have the perk Ninja on to mitigate footstep sound. If you have a headset, you can definitely hear people, but I feel like the footsteps are in a good place where you are actually encouraged to move, compared to, let's say, Modern Warfare 2 2022, where you actually needed a perk or a field upgrade like Dead Silence just to move around. This complements the maps well, which I'm 50-50 on. We aren't going to get any large maps, which can be hit or miss, but the maps I played flowed nicely. Players were actually moving around. Maybe it was to test the movement, or they felt like they could just move around because of the footstep sound, especially compared to Modern Warfare 2 2022, where some of these maps felt too large and it felt like camping heaven. The pacing was very enjoyable, which can be 50-50 depending on your playstyle and skill level. If you like fast pacing, then Black Ops 6 is a fun time. However, if you're a slower player, then this might be a little too fast for you. However, there are power positions in the maps where you can just hold sightlines and dominate. Treyarch could improve on the visibility because it was quite difficult to spot some of the enemies. The game caters to small maps where you just turn off your brain, run out, and get as many kills as you can, where you enter this spawn die kind of mentality. Explosives like grenades and semtexes are very strong in this game. You can spawn, chuck a grenade in the air, and instantly get a kill, especially if you're playing Babylon. I like seeing the old streak system returning once again. I am confused as to why a Hellstorm missile and a UAV took 1200 and 700 score to achieve, which is quite a lot compared to past Call of Duties, because 1200 for a Hellstorm is a lot for a streak that isn't as strong as Treyarch might think it is. Maybe they will change the values during the official launch. My favorite thing about Black Ops 6 is definitely the Omni movement. The sprinting in all directions is my favorite. The sliding and diving will definitely take some time to get used to. I find myself accidentally sliding or diving instead of going prone, but I absolutely love this feature. It encourages players to learn it, so you can have multiple options to outplay your opponent. However, there were lots of reports with people experience motion sickness. I don't think it's coming from the Omni movement itself, because there are settings that you can change to mitigate screen movement. There was a COD Next event though, where developers talked about death cams having a more action camera look, which could have been the culprit, because I personally didn't experience any type of motion sickness. Wrapping it up, for me anyways, I had fun playing Black Ops 6. I like the guns, the perks, maps, and movement. There are things I didn't like which they can improve. I enjoyed the game for now. It just depends on how long Call of Duty can keep us playing, because skill-based matchmaking or the engagement optimized matchmaking algorithm will be in the game. This algorithm has easily been one of the major factors that has led to Call of Duty burnout. COD games usually perform well for the first 3 months, and right after Christmas time it usually begins to fall off, so we will see how this game can keep us entertained until next fall. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section about Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Other than that, namaste my friends, and I will talk to you all next time.